had a big recruiting weekend. We'll discuss that coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It was a big win for the Sooners against the Michigan Wolverines, pulling out that 24-13 win in prime time with College Game Day in attendance. The A team from the ABC family of networks with Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe there. But it was also big in a sense that Oklahoma had more than 140 recruits on campus with families in attendance. They had a max capacity crowd. They sold standing room only tickets. They had celebrities and former players in attendance. Jay, to me, this was Oklahoma's version of sitting at the poker table. They love their hand and they're feeling confident about what they've got. And they're pushing all the chips to the middle of the table and saying, we're all in. And they went all in and they came up big on the flop and on the river and on the turn. And they cashed out huge this weekend.
Walking into this game, knowing that they were basically the entire nation's eyes were going to be on them. Mm-hmm. That's where the pressure was in this game. I mean, there was other games that, of course, were on television or whatnot, but this was the game. This was the one that everyone cared about in the country. It was really the only big rank versus rank game. It was the one everybody was like, all right, this is going to be the barometer or the litmus test for both teams to figure out who they are, where they're going to go, and what needs to be done. And John Mateer going out there and cooking, having Michael Fasusi at left tackle, who played very well before he got somebody rolled on his ankle, and he said he's good. He'll be good to go next week. But you got a true freshman out there at left tackle. You've got John Mateer coming in as a transfer quarterback doing some things. Transfer wide receivers out there cooking. You had a true freshman at corner. Transfer safety get to come in and play. You've got your homegrown guys in the middle. A couple of true sophomores getting a bunch of run. Basically, that sent the sign out and the signal to those recruits that, hey, if you come in here and work and you got it, we'll play you. Mm-hmm. We have no fear in playing you in the scheme because we'll make sure you're doing good in the scheme itself. Courtland Guillory, man, he basically was the shining example for all the recruits that pulled up. Last year we had it too. I mean, you had it with Eli for the most part late in the season, but you had Jaden Jackson all season long. So you kind of had it there. It's a little weird in the trenches, I guess you could say. Some, not everybody looks at it as, oh, okay, you can really play trench guys often. You can. If you got the right movements, it makes sense. But secondary, skill spots, those are the ones where you're so used to seeing guys play at a young age, John. And what's the great thing about that is Courtland Guillory shined. Mm-hmm. He shined a lot because he was attacked. Like I said, 8 targets is what was calculated by Brody Lusk, and that was calculations on that. 8 targets, 1 catch. They were going after the freshman, second team in a row to go after him, and they learned a lesson. Guess what those recruits learned? Oh, if I do good in practice, you will actually play me? Yeah. There won't be no political games here? Okay. I'm interested. There was one 5-star, that was basically the note that was posted on social media that he basically was like, yeah, they're willing to play freshmen if you're out there to ball.
If you come in and earn an opportunity, you're going to get to play, whether it's, Jaden Jackson, Eli Bowen in 2024, or, Tory Blaylock, Courtland Guillory, Michael Fasusi this year. If you show that you're ready and you know what you're supposed to be doing out there, you're going to get a chance to play. So, Jay, with so many prospects in town, like, what does a win like this in front of a group like that do for Oklahoma on the recruiting trail, especially given everything and all the narratives that we've heard about this team for the last 9 months?
The most important thing for Oklahoma was going out there and proving that, no, we're not regressing. We do have a plan and we're going to get better. And that's what this game did for Oklahoma. Like a lot of recruits, I've seen the notes flying. We're flying up everybody's list. Like a lot of them are trying to step back and still soak it in because they don't want to make that quick emotional reaction and emotional decision because, they were lit. You could see the recruits there they were having fun, and you could see that they were in their minds like, oh, I could see myself playing under these lights with these fans and doing this kind of stuff, because the best part, being in the SEC, you're definitely going to have some marquee games, so you're going to end up on national television no matter what. And Oklahoma's infamous for having what we had this year. We're going to have games on national television against opponents, top tier blue blood opponents from other conferences. So we go to Michigan next year, right? You got Clemson coming down the line. Nebraska's on the list again. You've got all of these names. And so these fans, these recruits are seeing it and saying, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I want to play. I want to be that dude that is in that video leveling the opposing player, or, being Javante Barnes running over a corner. You want that. That's the thing that these recruits are seeing, and a lot of them are taking note of. Okay, I have potential now.
Yeah, it's a moment that allows Oklahoma to remind everybody that this is Oklahoma. Welcome to Oklahoma. You're going to get a good product on the field. We're going to have talented players to put around you to help you shine. You're going to be put in a position to succeed and have a lot of success. And given that they're playing so many young players on both sides of the ball, it's one of those things that it should have you excited about the future, because you have Michael Fasusi this year and for up to 3 more years after this year. Tory Blaylock this year for up to 3 more years. I don't know if those guys will stay for all 4 years or not. Courtland Guillory for this year and up to 3 more years after this. So the future is still really, really bright with this team. And you've got veterans that are helping them win now and going to help them win in the future as well. So it's exciting, because now Oklahoma has an offense that can actually help them win, and a defense that continues this upward trajectory. And the way that they were playing yesterday, if you are a physical defender and you want to get after people, you want to play in a Brent Venables defense. It's not sit back, we're going to play bend, don't break. No, we're going to attack you, and we're going to take your will every Saturday and not want you to play football anymore.
I just get chills thinking about that game, just thinking about the environment and thinking about everything there, John. I just need to close us some recruits for 26, because we had to prove ourselves. The proof was in the pudding. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Right now, Oklahoma is being projected for a 2027 wide receiver out of Palisades, California, in Damara DeZone. There it is, DeZone.
Yeah.
5'11" wide receiver, Steve Wiltfong, Adam Gorney, and Blair Angelo of Rivals, all projecting him to land with the Oklahoma Sooners. So already paying dividends this big weekend, and it will continue to pay dividends. You had guys that were committed in the 2026 class. A lot of those dudes were in town for this game and doing peer recruiting for 2026 and 2027. And you had some 2027 guys, one in particular that's committed elsewhere, Cooper Hackett, that was in Norman for this game. And who knows what kind of needle moving it did for Oklahoma to go put on a big time performance in this one.
Yeah. If Oklahoma continues these wins, the Auburn game to me is the one where you're going to start seeing some players go ahead and make that flip.
Yeah. If Oklahoma goes and wins that one, they'll have a chance to go 5-0 into the Red River Showdown. And I mean, if that's the case and you have maybe a 4-1 Texas team, you're looking at a top 10 matchup in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl. And that's going to have maybe College Game Day live in person once again for a big time matchup.
Ooh, that game is a very good chance. I was looking at the schedule on the long golf, trying to figure out what would be the one that one is a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be several more opportunities for College Game Day to be involved in an Oklahoma game in Tuscaloosa. You know, that's going to be one of those that could have the potential as well. When you go to Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, that could be the potential as well. I thought about it when we were talking about Michigan and Oklahoma going to Ann Arbor next year. That very well could be a big noon kickoff game between Oklahoma and Michigan. over there on Fox. No, we don't
definitely
want the prime time, but you know that Fox is going to take advantage of the opportunity to put Oklahoma in the big noon kickoff slot. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner.